Hello, ladies. Or should I say, ho, 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 ladies.
Oh, hello.
The holidays are sneaking up faster than your fourth cup of peppermint mocha. And you might be still just agonizing over, debating what to get your guy. Don't worry, we have the perfect gift. Forget the cliche gifts like socks or ugly sweaters or golf balls. Mops loves a golf ball.
Mops does love a golf ball, and never mind, that's going to come off wrong. I was going to say, and he's been begging me to come play with him, and I was like, never mind, which he has been, but it'll come out wrong in the context of this.
He loves Melissa, wants Melissa to come play with him in his golf balls. Get him something he'll actually love and use. The Chairman Pro package from Manscaped. It's like the Rudolph of grooming, guiding him to the smoothest, irritation-free shave of his life. Trust me, he'll look so good, you'll be taking all the credit at every holiday party.
Head over to manscaped.com and join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using code DON'TBLAMEME for 20% off plus free shipping.
Gift your man the ultimate grooming experience by Manscaped and get him the Chairman Pro package for the holidays. It's a thoughtful and practical gift that he'll actually use and love. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code
Don't Blame Me at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Don't Blame Me at manscaped.com.
Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
that's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Streaming now on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special. Streaming now, only on Peacock.
Hello. I feel like I have to go to church. I'm not even religious.
Well, and here's the thing is that although But Am I Wrong comes out on Monday, they can't even commiserate with us because they still got 4 days until they hear the Don't Blame Me that we just recorded.
You guys, when I tell you, I think I need Jesus. Like, I don't believe in God, but like, the way I could walk by a Scientology building and they say, you need us, I would sit for a seminar. You could sell me a timeshare right now. I am a pile of goo.
I have accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and I haven't been to church in a while, to be honest. And I might have to go and get prayed upon, like not prayed, PREYED, PAYED. I need the saints of the church to come and make a prayer circle around me.
I need a hot shower. I need a prayer. I need some Kirk Franklin. I need some.
Yes, stomp that shit out of me.
Whew.
Oh my gosh.
I like
and you listener, because you said that you listen to us every day.
We're talking
before
about
you go to work. We're talking about you, and you have something to look forward to, ? On Thursday.
And I want you to know, as you're getting ready for work, behave.
Mm-hmm. Yes, behave.
Fucking behave.
Not.
And don't say, oh, well, okay, well, you know, I knew it was coming. It hasn't, like, I haven't heard the episode yet. No. Call in sick. I'm so unwell.
Oh my, like,
I want to cry. I'm like, the way that
I don't want to cry. My body is shaking, and you have to remember I'm sleep deprived.
No, I know. I'm not nowhere near as you, but I'm not well rested. And I fear what knowing this information is going to lead me to do. I guess we have to start this podcast episode though.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we gotta get through this next hour.
Well, welcome to But Am I Wrong? Starring two people who have not once ever been wrong. So we've lots of segments on this show. We talk about lots of different
life doesn't
things.
feel real right now.
No, I am in a simulation.
Okay, sorry.
The way that I need to be electrocuted or something, like I do need something.
Clear. Like, revive me because I'm not myself. I'm not in my body right now.
No, I'm looking above. I am still listening to that phone call with my mouth agape. We can't talk about that because that's going to trigger me.
I don't know. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Anyways,
I'm done thinking about open mouths.
Yep.
I know they say closed mouths don't get fat.
And you know what? Yeah.
I'm gonna be hungry.
You know what? And you know what?
And not craving.
No
cravings.
No. Satiate. Done. Absolutely done. Could never look at it again. Nauseates me.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Oh, by the way, don't listen to that episode with your children in the car. You never should in general.
No.
But yeah. And watch the video version of that one. That's out. So yeah. So this is a podcast where we have three different segments. What you really need to know is we want your participation. So you get to vote on who you think is wrong on each of the segments over on our Instagram story. And then we read the results on our episode called See You Next Tuesday. We have, like I said, 3 segments. We'll get into each one of them, the respective one, before we get into it. So you are well prepped and well versed, but you're not overwhelmed with information. And it's a great time. So first and foremost, we have But Am I Wrong? Where we pose to each other a hot take, a rant, or a circumstance or situation we have found ourselves in that we would like to know if we are in the wrong about.
Or we just think people need to be talking more about it.
Yeah. If we want to bring some awareness.
Mine is something that needs to be talked about more. And I don't know what has happened to my algorithm on Instagram over the last 3 days, but I am getting a lot of fake advertisements for fake items. One, or I should say several, being stores. The main one was the first one I saw was a robe store, and all they sell is robes, but they're all AI. The models are all AI. The robes look AI. The store looks like they just said, make me a store and put it on AI. I had to click on it because I was like, what the fuck is this? Maybe it's just like a illustration in the ad that I'm getting. No, it's different guys. Sometimes it's the same guy, but like in a different pose. What are we doing here? And then
Are the robes cute?
I need you to prepare for this.
Okay. Are you sending it to me or are you showing it?
I'm going to show it.
Okay.
Again, I was on Instagram just scrolling through and I came upon this. It is a man. I'm going to describe it for the people. It is a man standing in front, an AI man standing in front of a mirror. He looks moderately attractive. And it says singles dating app is who is doing this app. And it looks like it's just like a story. And the story says 37 years old, Canadian, no kids, HIV negative. I've never been married before, single, and searching for Black women.
Oh, this is going to tie into something I was just about to ask you. Oh, he looks
What
like
is
he's on The
this?
Bachelor.
What is this? I had another one that was a shoe store. None of the shoes look real. What is going on? Instagram. I need y'all to be better about.
Not TikTok, Instagram.
This is Instagram.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen one on TikTok I want to ask you about.
I need y'all to be better about vetting these people. I know they're paying you money, but that money can't be good. These things cannot be real. There's nothing. Shoes? Like shoes is something.
Don't you kind of want to order it and just see what comes?
I don't want them to have my address.
Oh, see, I don't think that far in advance. I just think about what are they going to send me?
Like the robes are so ugly. I sent you the link to it.
Oh,
I think.
I can't find it.
So Light Heart Chic is the website for the robes.
That's not a website. That's not real.
I know. None
Light
of it is
heart
real.
chic. Those are just 3 words. Those are just 3 words.
It's not even loading now. Maybe it got shut down.
Yeah. Well, maybe the website was the friends we made along the way.
Oh no! If you go on, can you go from your browser to look at it?
Don't you think maybe they should have thought about lighthearted chic?
I don't think there was a lot of thoughts and feelings went through this. They said, "Give me a website name." ChatGPT.
LIGHT. HEART. CHIC. .com.
Yes.
It won't let me go. Oh, now it is. Oh, I had to press 4 times and then it finally said yes. Oh, well, I know their audience is older women. Because the way,
But
first
they
of all,
have to
they're
buy it for their men.
knockoff Versace.
They're knocked off Versace. I literally said this.
This is like, I have to say though, some of this AI is, you're right, it looks like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like one of those like horny Disney people like
It's
make
the
Disney
chapters
characters.
thing, the chapters game.
Yeah.
It is the cartoons from that where they're like, I got raw dog by 4 people on the hockey team. That game.
Do you know who might like that game?
We're not going into that.
Okay. Also, they don't have a great sense of anatomy because some of the veins in these men are cause for medical concern.
I do like that it's diverse. We've got all different colors of some brown. They look a little, because they're very tan.
I was going to
AI.
say, nobody's not brown. Everybody is, some people look naturally melanated, other people look sprayed, but
yes,
there's no pasty skin anywhere.
And there's one that looks strikingly like Joe Manganiello.
Yeah. What about the one who's posing with the most vascular hands I've quite literally ever seen, to the point where I would go, you have to go to the ER immediately. I think you're having a medical event.
Dehydrated.
Yeah.
What is this? When the shoe one came across, I just couldn't look anymore. I didn't even click on the full thing.
Oh, they've got, I'm not going to lie to you, some of these paisley robes are kind of cute.
They are. But
wow, they take every
real.
form of credit, by the way, because they're just stealing your money.
They're not real. Instagram.
Ooh, they have a myth series, Dragon. Women's. Ooh, you can get a robe with dragons on it. I didn't
even see the women before. These women are so ridiculous.
I need to find them. By the way, everyone, if you're worried, yes, you can USD, Euro, Great British Pounds, and Canadian dollars. But again, they will take pretty much every form of payment because they just want your money and or your credit card number. By the way, these women look like they would kill it on your soap.
These women are all Republicans.
No, these women are all Republicans, and these women all are married to a man who has an inoperable brain tumor, so she marries his twin, and then he wakes up from the coma that he has been in, and then she's with both of them. These women have family secrets.
Wait. And then you click on Cozy Robe. They got these from just a catalog in 1972.
Oh, yeah. I think some of those are Laura Ashley.
It doesn't even fit the aesthetic of the rest of the site.
Not at all.
What is Myth? Oh, God.
Yeah, Melissa, I was asking you about that.
I didn't click on the Myth series before. They've got hoodies, full body suits with wolves on them. You actually might like the wolf one. I know you do love a shirt with a wolf
I do. I have it. That's from Mountain Artwear. By the way, they have a tie-dye under stylish robe. Oh, those are not really tie-dye.
Did you see stylish chain?
Yes, I did.
But anyway,
Melissa, now I want one of these robes.
You're not going to get one. No. You can want it all you want.
I could want it. I could order it. I'm still not going to get it.
It's a thought, but it will not be arriving at your doorstep. If you do, it will be one of the ones where they've just printed the design on it.
Or no, it'll be one that's like, no, this was for a doll. It's a robe for an aunt. Lily ordered like a Halloween shirt off of Temu, and it arrived and it was just an iron-on for her to put on her own shirt. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? I also saw this one who ordered what she thought was a Christmas wreath. And it is legitimately, it's not a blanket because it is the shape and size of a door. It is a piece of cloth with a door printed on it.
Saw this.
With a wreath.
I did see it.
And it was like, so you drape it over your door? It was, and you get like, you can't open it because it's a cloth. It's literally a blanket.
You got to do what those people are doing now where they're like wrapping their kitchen cabinets. That's what you use it for.
I love to decorate for Christmas. I would love people to think about where they put porous decorations and where they put synthetic decorations. Synthetic decorations and porous ones in a kitchen is a fire
over
hazard.
A stove.
Porous ones, or even when you're touching like food and you open a whatever it is, like it's going to get disgusting and so dirty, and the oils from cooking and everything in the air, it will penetrate it. They will get gross. And then when people put truly like most Christmas decorations in a bathroom where there's not a separate closet, a separate room where your toilet is and a separate room with your shower is, why are we put it? They will grow things. That is yucky. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Anything you can Clorox and wipe down, fine. Anything that's got fibers, no.
All right, we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we'll get into Meghan's But Am I Right?
We are so excited to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Thrive Cosmetics. Now, we are slowly but surely inching our way into fall in Los Angeles. And I mean inching.
So slowly.
So slowly.
Maybe millimetering. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so, because when I look outside, I go, oh my God, look at all these brown, crispy leaves that have fallen to the ground and they're crunchy and I can prance around in them, except for not too long because it's still 85 degrees out.
Right.
You know, it's that. So I have to find other ways to get excited for fall, like my makeup. And for me, I have been keeping it very simple, especially on my off days when I'm not filming. And even if I am filming, I'm like dialing it back, doing something very simple like mascara and a lip tint, which is exactly what I'm wearing today. And you guys can't see me, but you should know I'm wearing the ad that we're talking about. So thank you, Thrive.
She looks good. And when we got on camera, I was like, what have you been doing today? Because I know we rarely leave our homes.
Yeah, and I didn't leave my home. I just happened to have a little fun at my makeup desk.
And Thrive inspired that. I, as y'all know, fall. Y'all know that I am a person that's like, we don't talk about fall until it's fall. And now is it officially fall? Then we can talk about it. And I can talk about how much I am looking forward to switching up my summer routine for makeup and moving into more autumn-inspired creations. And Thrive makes that possible.
Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free, made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high-performance and trademarked formulas, and uncompromising standards. And it's easy to see why their best sellers have thousands of 5-star reviews.
We were sent some beautiful shades, including their precision lipstick crayon that we received. The color is called Stephanie. It looks amazing on me. It is like a brownish red color. I'm not a technical person. Thrive they're the professionals. They provide it. I see it. I like it. I wear it. It's fantastic. They also have their liquid lash extension mascara. Not only does it last all day, it doesn't clump. There's no smudging. There's no flaking. You look like you're wearing lash extensions without having to go to the salon and getting them put on.
And it completely comes off so easily with water, which is something that, as someone who has been a till death do us part waterproof mascara kind of girl, usually I have to soak my eyelashes and my eyelids for about 5 minutes every night. And then when I wake up in the morning, I still look like a raccoon. And I'm like, and I got to do it again in the morning. So knowing that I can have that great long lash, voluminous and lengthened look, and then washing it off just as easy with water, it sounds like a dream. And it's got nourishing ingredients that help support longer, stronger, and healthier looking lashes over time. TBT to that time I was curling my lashes on your couch and they got stuck, and then I broke off half my lashes and I was like, oh, we can't actually talk about this. And you're like, it's fine, we'll pretend it never happened.
And I forgot it happened until right now.
I thought it happened again the other day. And that was pre-Thrive. So thank Thrive Cosmetics. Now I'm gonna be set. These lashes are not going anywhere.
Great. I love that. Not only does Thrive provide excellent products, Thrive also donates to 8 major causes, including those impacted by cancer, domestic abuse, and veteran and education organizations.
So brighten up your fall look with Thrive Cosmetics, luxury beauty that gives back. And right now you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/blame. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/blame for 20% off your first order.
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. So that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
We are back, and it is time for my But Am I Wrong? Now, I'm not a vegan, and I find a lot of vegans a little scary. Not all of them. It's the difference between being Jesus-y and being Christian or being religious versus being Jesus-y. There's a definite line. So I don't know if that's like someone who's plant-based, or maybe vegan is the right term, whatever it is. But I just want to say that, like, I'm not coming at this from a place of like free leave the banana girl.
I don't know what that means.
Don't look it up because she caused a lot of some severe trauma. I think it is incredibly weird that the newest health craze is colostrum.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think the concept of a synthetic colostrum, because colostrum at its core is like a super nutrient dense, it's giving superfood. It's giving acai berry. Like, the terminology of something, it's like, oh yeah, it's just a highly concentrated elixir. Like, it's so, or whatever.
And we're not talking about a mother, right? When
no, I would never call what.
Right. I'm just making it clear so no one is having any misunderstandings.
Oh, no,
we're not talking about when a baby is first born and that sweet, sweet titty milk is ready to be consumed.
No, I'm talking about health companies for profit getting bovine and other animal-based colostrum and then selling that for people to take. I find that really fucking weird because we all know if you are familiar, and I think a lot of like the marketing is based on like banking on people who don't know what colostrum is, because like, I'm so sorry, if you know what colostrum is, you know it is a short window in which that is what you're producing before you produce breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there are people who are breastfeeding while pregnant with their next kid, and they will they'll have to like strategize with their OB about making sure they give enough time for their body to build colostrum for their new baby, and not just skipping over that and just giving them like milk straight away. Like, the goal is for every baby to have colostrum, and like people will donate
there's the window is very.
That's what I was gonna say.
Also, colostrum is specific. Like, that specific colostrum is so specific to that
baby, totally,
that child that was just born. No matter if it's the child of an animal or a child of a person. Like, it is specifically made for them.
And it is such a short window.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you mean we are getting these animals pregnant and then extracting the colostrum? Are they like they're having these calves or any offspring, and then we are in a farming
That's fucking weird.
It's really fucking weird.
I didn't know this was happening.
It's happening. And like when I first heard about it, I thought it was synthetic. I assumed it would be synthetic colostrum, aka I thought they were using the term colostrum to just be this overarching thing of like, you know, it's like super packed with like all of these great things for you, and it's like great for recovery and muscle. And I assumed it had collagen in it, and I assumed it had other things that without a doubt could have been animal byproduct, but not like legitimately bovine colostrum. I thought it was going to be a mix of vitamins and, again, maybe some collagen and something like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I find it so fucking odd and specific, like, especially because like so much of what I've seen it be marketed to is like health and wellness mommies. And I'm like, you know what colostrum is. And then this is, you're from an animal to, if there was animals that produced colostrum all the time, and we found out that doing that, we could like, it could fortify in formula or something, and it could help, whatever it was. Like if there was an animal that produced this magic thing all the time, and using that would fundamentally change the health of babies across the world, I think that is a different story. I think this, point blank, is really fucking weird. And I think there's a reason why it's marketed or described in a way that they talk about, like, they want you to know that colostrum is wonderful and fantastic, but they don't want you to actually know what colostrum is and how you get it.
I'm just like, I really feel sick to my stomach with this.
Yeah. I have a really hard time with this. And I think a lot of people just don't know. And I think a lot of people are like me, like I thought it was synthetic. Because I could not even wrap my head around the fact that it wouldn't be. That like someone was extracting this from an animal. And I see it pop up on like, you know, people talking about like, oh, this like health things on long COVID subreddits or whatever, of like things I find helpful. And I've like seen it, people talk about on TikToks and stuff. And I'm just like, do you know what that is?
I feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird. And again, I'm not a vegan. I'm not against consuming animal products. I do it all the time. Mm-hmm. This to me, I thought was like a very clear line I didn't know that we all didn't have. So there you go. You're welcome.
This is one thing where I'm like, PETA?
No, I know. I'm like, PETA, do I have something for you? Sorry.
I could throw up if I got up and went to the bathroom right now. I could throw up,
and that's why you don't go to the bathroom right now. When you're in that time frame where you go, this is not it for me.
We're gonna take a break. When we get back, we'll get into but are you wrong?
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Come to me.
Focus Features invites you to succumb to the darkness.
Nosferatu.
From director Robert Eggers comes a masterpiece of horror.
He is coming. This creature is a force more powerful than evil. It is death itself.
Nosferatu. Rated R. Under 17nm without parent. Only in theaters Christmas Day. Special engagements in Dolby and IMAX.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
We're back from our break.
And I'm still grossed out, but it's time for But Are You Wrong? That's when our wonderful listeners write in to butamiwrongpod@gmail.com and share with us any type of situation where you thought you may have been wrong, or you're like, I was absolutely right, but everybody else is telling me I'm wrong. What are your thoughts? Write in, keep it to 300 words or less, include your name, your pronouns if you'd like. Actually, don't include your actual name. Include a fake name. Pronouns if you'd like. Your age. Names for other people. Fake names, of course. Plus their ages and whatnot. And then we take it to Instagram. And at Instagram, we do polls. That's part of the whole show. That's what we're all doing. And you can get thoughts from other people listening to the show.
And sometimes we even have the people who originally wrote in give us like little updates or clarifying questions that we might have had.
All right. Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I'm a 30-year-old female writing in about a situation that happened a couple nights ago. My friends with benefits, who I've been seeing sporadically for the past 2 years, invited me to come over to his place. It was later in the evening than I preferred, and my car was blocked in. But I was horny. So I agreed to come by if he could pay for my Ubers. For context, he makes significantly more money than I do. Also, we never spend the night at each other's places. It's not like that. He agreed about the Ubers and sent the car to get me. After we fucked, I was getting ready to head home, and he suggested that I order my Uber home since he paid for my ride there. I did because I didn't want to make things awkward. But am I wrong for thinking it was shitty of him not to pay for it? I'm starting to feel more and more that my time and my pussy are valuable, and I'd like the men in my life to show generosity financially in order to have access. Am I delusional to want this? No, your pussy should be on a pedestal.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. And he agreed initially that he would pay for it. He went back on his word. You should have said, and if you felt comfortable, you should have said, no, I thought you said you were paying for me. Do you want me to stay the night? Neither one of y'all wanted that, but sometimes it's good to freak people out a little bit.
Ain't that the fucking truth? Sometimes you gotta scared straight.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, I think in general, without a doubt, you can find someone who would pay for your Ubers, both there and back. But it's less about who can pay and more about who wants to pay.
Who will.
And like you, without having to ask in that sense. And so I think like you can't make him do it, and you're not wrong for wanting that. But this just might not be the friends with benefits. He might think that's like girlfriend shit, which I think then pussy's girlfriend shit. Like that's no. But I think this is not a hard ask, nor do I think this limits your options.
No.
But I do think if this is the hard line, like the boundary you draw, then you don't go back and have sex with this guy again.
And if we're horny, I understand if friends with benefits, but sometimes we make horny decisions that cloud our judgment, and we do not make our intentions clear. So I suggest maybe rubbing one out before and say, was I horny, or would I like company? Because you can be horny and home and have your peace and not leave. Or do you want to be horny and enjoy someone else's company?
Mm-hmm. Does he ever come to your place?
Maybe she don't want him there. Understandable.
Very understandable. But yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
No. That's very easy. I would like to say that millions of Stanleys have been recalled. Nearly 3 million cups sold online and in stores between 2016 and 2024 could pose a burn risk. Do not put hot things in your Stanley.
I need people in general to stop putting boiling things in thing that directly touches pliable plastic.
And metal that does not cool down. Something that takes hours to cool down. These things were originally meant for people that had hot lunches, like a hot soup. People that work construction. That's what they're for, to keep their food warm, not to put your hot tea in there.
As a kid who grew up with a Yeti, and I would
That's literally what Stanleys were made for.
That's what I'm saying. So it's the same. It was both companies were around, and I would have my Yeti. I would literally have a Yeti, and I would have lunch in it, soup or whatever. And by the time poured at 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m., eating it at 1, and it was still hot as fuck.
And there's a cup at the top. You're not supposed to eat directly from the container.
Nope, not supposed to touch your mouth to the metal.
Take that off and then pour it over.
And then when I started drinking tea, I had to get a different one because when I tried to put it it stayed too hot. And I was like, no, you can't do it like that. Anyways,
common sense is lost on many. Also Stanley for remarketing, which I understand.
I don't
rebrand.
think they've done it though. I don't know how much they had. I want to read about how it started, because was it just the colors?
It was the colors. And then prices hiked up. And then it was we got to line up at Target to get these colors.
Oh, but maybe it was a big collab that really
understand what they're meant for.
Yeah.
It's this man had one that he's had for 30 years, the same one. And he was like, why are people going crazy? I work construction.
Let me get to the job site in peace. Stop taking these. Okay. Hello, lovely ladies. I am a 27-year-old male. I'm writing in to see if I'm wrong for wanting to live on my own. I've lived with my brother since we graduated college 4 years ago. We aren't twins, but I did an extra year, so we wound up graduating at the same time. I love my brother dearly, but I'm ready to be on my own. Our 60-day to renew email came yesterday, and now I'm scared to tell him. I know he's planning to propose to his girlfriend soon, so it would suck if I put him in a financial burden right before something big like this happens. Would I be wrong to try and live on my own, or should I stick it out until he proposes? Clearly, we wouldn't live together then, so that could make sense too. Any advice is appreciated. I'm not sensitive, so please let me know the hard truth. I will say I think it's crazy when people propose before they've lived together.
I was going to say, you've already gotten out here. They're going to be together. You don't want to impede on that. I would think that they would want to move in together. I don't know. Some people are more traditional, whatever that means, and they don't want to do it. I don't agree with it. But, and this comes from someone who will probably just have a husband one day and y'all be like, who was that?
A hard lunch with a toddler. It's going to be crazy. But I think that I agree. This is a perfect out, but if he's proposing, what did you say? What timeline? Soon. And it would suck if I put him on financial burden. First of all, that is not your problem. Second of all, it should not be a financial burden.
Yes, because you should already have the money put away. It shouldn't be taken away. It should have been something that was saved.
Also, there should have been a plan in place for him and his who's soon to be fiance, living together. This it should be a plan. And so I think if he's proposing soon, I think it would be more outrageous for him to assume that let's say he proposes the next 2 months, that then you would then live together for 10 months of that, because it's we just signed our lease, so we can't move in together yet. That part's weirder to me than being we're going to separate and not live together 2 months before he proposes. And get it but no, I don't think you sign a new lease and you just say something along the lines of just say hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. You guys are getting engaged soon and I'm really ready to live on my own. So I do think it's perfect timing, but I just want to make sure that, and I think a good thing to do is assume you're on the same page. I was I feel crazy clarifying this because I'm pretty sure we're on the same page, but I just want to make sure we got the 60-day notice and we're not re-signing it because we're moving out because you're getting engaged. And if you just say it duh, obvious fact, then I think that it makes the other person go, oh, I guess, yeah, that is how it works. Like, but if you give it as like an op where you're asking, or you're saying, what do you think? You already know what you want. You already know what you think. So you just tell the other person. You don't ask their thoughts and feelings. You let them know what you assume the plan is, because you assume they're on the same page as you, because you also assume that they are a responsible, mature adult.
You're not wrong. Get out. Go get your own place. Good job. Congratulations on finishing school and being an adult, ready to live on your own. I mean, you've been an adult, but that adulthood while living alone, it's different.
Can you imagine if like they got engaged and they like want to come home to celebrate and they're like, could you set up some like flower petals?
Yuck.
Yeah, like no. But you've got this. Don't feel pressured. And here's, with love, you're 27. I will be mad at you if you are peer pressured into signing another lease. You're too old for that. And this is also your brother. You're allowed to say,
and you're older.
Fuck off. Exactly. You're allowed to say fuck off. Is twerp a bad word? I just know that people say it to their siblings.
A little twerp.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Okay. I don't have siblings, so I'm like, I don't know if it like means something very bad. But like, this is where you say, fuck off, little twerp, and you give him a noogie if he tries to say no. This is exert your power as the older sibling.
I concur. You're not wrong. Hope you have a blessed day. Now we're going to take another break and we'll get into But Are They?
There's a lot going on right now. Mounting economic inequality, threats to democracy, environmental disaster, the sour stench of chaos in the air. I'm Brooke Gladstone, host of WNYC's On the Media. Want to understand the reasons and the meanings of the narratives that led us here, and maybe how to head them off at the pass? That's On the Media's specialty. Take a listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, do you like true crime? Me too. And I know what you're thinking. There's so many true crime pods out there, you've already heard all the stories. Well, what if I were to tell you you're wrong? I'm Leroy Luna, the host of Excuse Me, That's Illegal, the podcast that takes a hardcore look at softcore crime. I've got a back catalog of hundreds of bizarre and hilarious stories just waiting to be heard by you. So come join me. Excuse Me, That's Illegal is available anywhere you get your favorite podcasts, with new episodes dropping on the 10th, 20th, and 30th every month, baby!
At Radiolab, we love nothing more than nerding out about science, neuroscience, chemistry.
But we do also like to get into other kinds of stories. Stories about policing or
politics,
country music,
hockey,
sex, of bugs.
Regardless of whether we're looking at science or not science, we bring a rigorous curiosity to get you the answers.
And hopefully make you see the world anew.
Radiolab, adventures on the edge of what we think we know.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back. It is time for But Are They Wrong? And this is where we nominate a person, place, or thing, someone in the pop culture, current events, and the zeitgeist who we think deserves to be publicly shamed. Shame. Shame.
This is something that Meghan actually shared with me. I had seen it before, but my brain's not working correctly today.
No, we've been through some trauma today.
Oh, and this is very traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very concerning trend where hospitals are routinely drug testing pregnant women and then reporting positive tests to child welfare agencies, even when the positive tests are due to the medications that have been prescribed by the hospital itself. And this practice has led to the criminalization of pregnancy and the unnecessary separation of mothers from their newborns. This just grosses me out to me. This episode, well, not this. Everything just grosses me out right now. And this is just fucked up. One, there's a misinterpretation of drug tests. This is how they do it. The hospitals often fail to consider that medications administered during labor and delivery can cause false positives on drug tests. And then there's also a lack of medical expertise. many doctors and social workers lack the necessary expertise to interpret drug test results accurately. And all that education that doctors go through, and it is part of their job to look at tests, and then they can't do it accurately. Do we need a new position where this is all they do?
Well, traditionally, a lot of nurses do the checks and balances, and like they're so fucking stressed. And once it leaves that, and you have this in a paperwork thing, there's not the checks and balances because it's being transferred to someone who had no part in this patient's care.
And then hospitals frequently report positive test results to child welfare agencies without conducting thorough investigations or considering the potential impact on families. And then also this practice can lead to unnecessary stress, anxiety, and even the loss of custody for mothers who have done absolutely nothing wrong. And in a world where we have one half of our political system are all about forcing people to have babies, and then this is happening where they're like taking babies away from their mothers, it's actually, when we get down to it, about having babies and that's it, and not actually taking care of those babies, and because they want the different class systems.
They want to have...
Might be a hot take.
And you know what they also say, which is terrifying, and people will say this with a straight face, like civilians, there's a shortage for infants in adoption. And I'm like, and they say that like, how devastating. Right. There's a shortage.
A shortage of children being taken away from mothers and or women that never wanted to be pregnant being forced to have a baby. So you're forcing them to create children for other people.
Yep. There was someone who lost their kids for 5 years because part of the epidural is fentanyl. And so they said she tested positive for fentanyl. And it goes, that's part of the epidural. That's part of the pain management of an epidural. And like, that's something that like, when I hear people talk about like how disgusting, like in their terms, like druggies or addicts are or whatever, and how they never would. I'm like, have you had an epidural? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, there is a use for this medication. There is a use for all of this kind of stuff. And like, when hospitals also breed and create substance dependence in people to like, you don't know that that's not going to happen to you. But then also now at this point, it doesn't matter if you then become dependent on something that you get treated with because you need it in the hospital. And for a separate reason, you become dependent on it. And that starts a whole slew of, it changes the entire fucking course of your life. Or that doesn't happen, but you test positive for a drug test and now your kids are gone.
Right.
And I think it's just like the intersection of the medical system creating addiction and the government controlling women's bodies is like a really, really scary, like it's just a really scary point. And like, I don't think it ever occurred to me that it could get that those things are getting like mixed up together and they so directly relate. And I think a lot of people view the government's involvement, not our listeners, but like, we'll just, or the same thing when we talk about like the criminalization of drugs, like, we'll just don't do anything bad. I'm like, cool. So nothing bad happened here. The system is the problem. The system is the problem. The system has always been the problem, not the people participating in the system. That's like, statistically, that's not it. And so to look at, well, that could never be, I would never make those decisions. Sometimes it's not a decision. So really fucking scary. I'm so glad it's getting reported on. And whoever it was who like put these pieces together or figured it out or like tipped off or whatever, like remarkable, fantastic journalism on it. It's just like, because this stuff, who knows how long this has been like, I don't like it, this is such a thing that they could have been got away with for a very long time. So still progressing. Mine is also not very chipper. And my wrong of the week is also kind of a rant statement too, and I almost included this as my hot take, but like it feels like way too serious, and I do think there's a very guilty party in here. And it's like allergies are not trendy whatsoever. They're not like a trend. They're not a lifestyle choice. Like they are life and death. And there was this event with BoxLunch, BoxLunch or BoxLunch, which is a brand that does a lot of not collaborations or collections. Like they like certified like official merchandise, partner with like Disney, Star Wars, all of these things. And they're heavily branded affiliate with that stuff. And it's kind of like, if anyone, it's not aware, I would say it is like, imagine a Hot Topic, but Disneyland. Like it is like all of this branded kind of stuff, but you have also collectibles and all of this niche stuff. They make a fuck ton of money. They make a fuck ton of money. They literally have exclusive deals with companies who only have deals with them. And so they had an influencer event in LA, and an influencer was invented. There was an influencer invited named Dominique Brown. And before we get into this tragic thing, I do want to talk about her and like the amazing things that she has done. And she was based out of California, and she her username was Hello HELO 2 O's Damo, and she co-created Black Girl Disney in 2018 with Mia Vaughn after she noticed a lack of representation in the Disney influencer space, creating a welcoming community for women of color who love the brand's films and theme parks. And a lot of people credit her for now brands making specific, like anything specific about Black women or diversity in this, and then making this a whole other sector of all of these brands. Like that she was one of these pioneers for this, and there were conventions and all of this stuff. Like she was so well established in this Disney community, and it's just fucking terrible. So on December 5th, she passed away at just 34 years old. She allegedly suffered a fatal allergic reaction at this holiday event hosted by BoxLunch in LA. She had alerted the brand beforehand, and she had worked with them beforehand. So as somebody who has worked with brands multiple times, brands know that I have allergies. Even if they can't remember what it is, they know, and they know to ask me. They don't have to ask me because I'm already telling them. We've already talked about it. We're checking it. So she had talked to BoxLunch ahead of time. They assured her to be fine. And then she also talked to the caterers and people passing around the food, let them know that she had a deathly allergy to a specific ingredient. It has been alleged, I don't know if it has been confirmed by her family, but it has been said by all of her very close friends it is a nut allergy. Mm-hmm. And that is something universally we know is a deathly allergy. Mm-hmm. We don't associate that with a mild reaction. We associate that with anaphylaxis. And she asked the servers if the food contained the ingredient she was allergic to, and they said, no, it does not. She had a reaction, and pretty much immediately she said, I need to go to the hospital. Something is wrong. And the DJ reportedly made an announcement asking if anyone had an EpiPen. And, the company has said that they did make sure they knew everyone's allergies ahead of time, but they are launching an internal investigation to figure out, what had happened. There were lots of people being like, well, why didn't she have an EpiPen? Blah, blah, blah. An EpiPen was administered. Yes, when you are at a serving restaurant, all of that kind of stuff, you also should have that. Sometimes one EpiPen dosage is not enough. And when you are told something is fine, and especially this is me assuming too, if she's gone to these events before, there is a sense when we talked about this on this podcast on a different episode a couple months ago about a woman who ate at Disney and was told her allergens were not in the food, and she also died. And that was at Disney. As someone who's felt incredibly comfortable eating at Disney, I have never gotten sick eating at Disney. I've never had any cross-contamination issues. There is a level of comfort and safety you feel once you've eaten with these people, with this company. They know all of that stuff. You let your guard down a little bit because you cannot have your guard up at all times. And anyone who says that like you have to be on high alert at all fucking times. No, you don't. You establish a repertoire with people. You trust these people. You let them know. You do all of that stuff. She didn't fail at all in any of that. And BoxLunch is reportedly also says that they're offering grief counseling for their team because it was, traumatic. And they also say they're offering it to her family as well. But in response to her death, her close friend, Marcus Medley, started a change.org petition calling for stronger food allergy measures in restaurants and food establishments. And as of now, it has over 25,000 signatures. And they lacked the tools and the capacity for this. And they didn't have EpiPens. The staff was not trained to do this. And anyone wants to be like, well, they shouldn't have to be trained to do this. That, okay, you're allowed to believe that, but then you cannot say it does not have an allergen in it. Right. You can say, I do not know. There can be one person who that can all be directed to. No. And if you are not sure, if the brand asks the company, as catering, if they can do an allergy-friendly meal, and they say yes, that needs to happen. If they say no, or they say kind of, it is also the brand's responsibility to let her know that she cannot eat anything, and she should not eat anything. So they released a statement, and a lot of people found out about this from people's TikToks vlogging them going to this event, and then a voiceover being like, yeah, and then like someone died and it was like really sad, but like, yeah, thanks for coming to my day of my life. Hold up, what the fuck?
So they still required people to post.
So initially, the first email they sent out, which was sent at 2:45 p.m., and this is an evening, so I'm pretty sure this is the next day. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think this was a morning thing. Maybe I'm wrong. And the first email said, our team at BoxLunch is devastated by the passing of Dominique Brown, a beloved member of our BoxLunch collective. She passed away after suffering a medical emergency while attending an event hosted last night in Los Angeles. Our hearts go out to her friends and family. We will do everything we can to support them and the members of the BoxLunch collective and the BoxLunch team during this painful time. We are in the process of arranging grief counseling services for members of the collective and our BoxLunch team, and as we all cope with Dominique's tragic passing. We will share more information about these resources as soon as possible. It's important to note that the collective seems to be like their influencer group or email subscriber list. This is not a public statement. This is sent directly to specific people. And then so that was at 2:45 p.m. the next day after she died the evening before. And people were posting these fucking videos. At 10:45 p.m. that day, 10:45 p.m., they sent an email. Hey, everyone. During this time of mourning for Dominique, we have eliminated all campaign requirements. Of course, this will not affect your participation in the BL Collective or future campaigns. Our hearts are with you for this difficult time. So people were still posting what they assumed was their contractually obligated stuff. I think there is a personal responsibility there that don't be a corporate shill. Don't be a fucking corporate shill. If you have a brand fucking requirement and somebody dies, no. Don't post. Do not fucking post. It is, if you are like absolutely swallowing all of your morality and being like, this makes me feel sick to my stomach that I have to do this. You do not have to do this. You do not have to do this. No, just no. And I think it's disgusting that these people still posted, even if they thought they had to, because it's not that
backbone.
Well, and also like, I need you to have a little bit of common sense about how law works. You're not going to get sued, arrested, whatever this is. This is not I don't think you were paid to be there. The money you're not getting paid before you do something. You haven't done the thing and the money hasn't reached you yet. Like no. And just don't do it. Don't wait for this corporation to tell you don't have to do this. Like, don't. Be a human first. Don't be a human first and an influencer fucking second. And then I'm not including any anyone who like actually talked about her passing in it. Like, you are actual fucking, like, that's fully fucking disgusting. So an ex-user who goes by the name Hide Your Grannies says that Brown was her mother's best friend for the past decade, and said and this is what their claim is. So this has not been substantiated from outside sources, but there is a lot of hush-hush going on from BoxLunch. So a lot of people are wondering, because they're not making big statements of this, saying that allegedly when the influencer asked to be taken to a hospital, everyone said no and took pictures first. And a source tells us that 911 was called immediately, and the company had previously communicated allergies to the guests of the venue, and they're conducting their independent investigation. But before I think they even had sent that email, they just gave a statement to Us Weekly. And this is like so fucked, and seeing a lot of the victim blaming of like, she should have had an EpiPen, she like whatever all of these things are.
They shouldn't have lied.
No. And people assuming that once you have an EpiPen, you're fine, or, whatever. But also when someone tells you that there's not an allergen in this and you start feeling bad, you're going to have you don't know that you're taking a risk.
Mm-hmm.
You think you are safe. And there becomes like maybe I'm being crazy really quick. Seconds can matter. And at the end of the day, sometimes no matter how many EpiPen doses you have, it's not enough. Sometimes your allergies will just kill you. And then it is not a matter of oh, she should have had an EpiPen. It doesn't matter how many doses you get at that point. It should not have been in the food, and it should not have been told that it was fine. So yeah, and I just like, I really hate people like with these jokes of being like, I can't believe some people are just a peanut. The whole fucking peanut will take you out. Like, that's crazy. No, if you want to talk about the craziness of nut allergies, talk about the fact that there's an entire like mass like generation of people who are allergic to nuts because doctors for a time period said, oh, maybe we shouldn't feed them to kids. And they were wrong. That's science. Sometimes science is wrong. And all these people did not build up their immune systems, the antibodies for that. And then you have a hell of a lot more. Like, nut allergies didn't really used to exist. It is not like a weak-willed or a strong-willed kind of thing. It was a medical science thing that they fucked up with. But like, they're incredibly serious. And also, I follow this allergist on TikTok. He talks about it like, there's a lot of people who don't know their allergies are deadly because they were never deadly before. Any allergy can be deadly at a certain point, and it doesn't like gradually build up to that necessarily. It can just be one time. Or people who have never been, I've been with people, my friend's mom, who I grew up with my whole life, had gotten stung by bees and was totally fine. And one time we were on a hike when we were kids and she got stung and her entire body swelled up and her throat started swelling up. And we, as middle schoolers, had to drive a car because she could not drive the car. And it was just us two and her mom. And we were doing steering wheel and pedal. And she was helping steer when she wasn't itching. And we had to drive her to the ER. And she had gotten like stung by bees a bazillion times. And for some reason that time she had that. So those people don't have EpiPens. EpiPens are fucking expensive. They expire incredibly quickly. And insurance does not cover a large majority of it. People are having to pay $300 for something that expires in 6 months max. It's just not it's not feasible. And again, allergy testing, there's a lot, like knowing you're even allergic to this thing. And it just makes me like really mad. And like when people talk about like just like hating people's allergies or finding that like annoying or like I'm not paid enough to deal with that. That's totally fine. I agree. You should be paid more. Do not lie and do not minimize. And yeah, no one asked to have allergies. And like, it just, imagine living with the idea that something like that can just like kill you. And then also having people be like completely callous about it and thinking you should live in a bubble and never go outside or whatever, and all of that. Like, it's just like, it's really fucked. And it's like super sad. So we'll link the change.org petition down below.
I didn't know her, but I know a lot of people that did know her, and they had nothing but incredibly kind things to say about her.
And I heard about like the organization she'd created, and I was like, oh wow, that's her. Like, I stumble upon Disney TikTok at times, and like I had heard her talked about as this like wonderful, amazing person who'd done all this great stuff and who really had changed the landscape for Disney creators. And there are far more Black women and just non-white people who are making Disney content and getting sponsored by Disney and working with them in that way. And yeah, fuck BoxLunch. They're handling this horrifically. And I do think that they are more at fault than the restaurant and the venue, because it is their event and it is their liability. And when you go to a restaurant, it is a restaurant's liability. So yeah, horrible.
That's the end of the episode.
The positive note we can end it on is the McDonald's employee who ratted out Luigi, who accidentally called 911 instead of a tip line and is not getting the reward. No, the coverage actually, unfortunately, does not cover that claim. Denied. I gotta say, it is perfectly like textbook irony. And fuck around and find out. By the way, I actually need him not only to be on the Traders. That's a man who can have a podcast. Bring back theatrics to the courtroom.
My hot take for this week was going to be that lawyers are just theater majors that have law in their pocket, because what was that? Like, any lawyer that I've ever seen on TV and they're like, he's being too dramatic. No, I know that a lot of lawyers take improv class. Like, that is part of what they do.
Like 90% of what they do.
And incredible. Where's the evidence? It's not in my hand.
The way that they're going to make a movie about this and they're going to go, no one else can play, sir? And he goes, sure. If he told me he was in Groundlings for 2 years, 3 years, I would go, checks out.
Yeah.
Checks out. Yes, and. Yes, and.
Yes.
And I have to say, I do think this class consciousness, class solidarity that is coming from this. I don't know if you saw, I think it was some news site. They were outside of the prison where he was being held.
Mm-hmm.
And they were conducting an interview because they were watching the live broadcast. And so they had one of the other reporters next to the prison where they were. And then they had on TV the news anchor. And she would ask questions on the fucking news live and then wait for the delay. And then the prisoners would answer by yelling. And she would either hear it through him or the guy who was there was like, okay, they said yes. Or yet they said no. She's asking if he was in solitary. And they're like, yes. And it's like, is it like solitary confinement? No. Does he have a TV? No. And I was like, and she was like, this is by far the most interesting interview I've ever conducted. And everybody's like, oh, he's protected in there. He's, yeah. And I think that's why they're keeping him away. Yeah. Do I still think it wasn't him? Yeah. But
it doesn't look like him.
It looks nothing like him. And so at the end of the day, like, those pictures are either fake and that was not who it was, or it is not him and he is one of what I would think.
Just holding on to things.
And he's someone who's making all of this is a point. And this feels like an episode of Criminal Minds, and he has laid the trap and he waited for us to step right in it. And that's what they're doing. Because I'm sorry, what do you mean in his manifesto? He wrote, not verbatim. But so sorry to the feds, by the way, New York PD. I think you are great. You are doing wonderful things. You are very good at your jobs. Have you read it? No.
Very sarcastic.
No, but also like, that's not a manifesto. That's a letter then. That's an ode to the, no. So, but I gotta say, I don't think it's the same hottie. More hotties, the merrier. Love these gorgeous hotties.
So this hottie is so thick.
Dude.
Did you see the video of the girl that it's his friend? They're walking around Target with their mask on.
Getting mochi.
Mm-hmm.
The way
his neighbor.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that guy. Such a nice guy.
I don't think he bats for our team, and I'm fine with that.
They're saying he's bi.
Thank you. Wonderful. Amazing. Yeah. And now maybe I do believe in God. Like
this has been the last
a religious
two
episodes.
Don't Blame Me and But Am I Wrong have been a real come to Jesus moment for you for different reasons.
Unfortunately, it's not a happy thing. I'm actually in the trenches, and I desperately I need a Lord and Savior, or a Lord and Taylor. Also, I saw a picture of his whole family, and this as an Irish American, I can understand the family tree of the Italian Americans. Big and thick, and not one person said anything. Everyone's like, that's how you know they're a true Italian family. I go, also because it is not the same person. But even if it was, if they literally had his fingerprint, Nona doesn't know a fucking thing.
Nope.
She's never seen that boy in her life.
Nope.
And again, the fact that it was reported by a random person from McDonald's, and he's sitting there with all of the evidence in his. By the way, he didn't have it when he was there. They found it after they transferred him. They go, yeah, then we found it on him. I go, oh.
Sure.
So you didn't search his stuff. Cool. Yeah, this makes total sense. Oh, yeah. And he's very, very well educated and comes from a very well-off, affluent family. And he has access to a very good lawyer. Huh.
Maybe the greatest lawyer of all time.
Yeah.
How are they going to find the jury for
this? That's the best part.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The way that I need to know, Shonda Rhimes, I need you to do everything in your power.
Know this is a Ryan Murphy.
No,
project.
but I need Shonda. I know that this is not Shonda's not opportunistic like that. I need you to do your civic duty, and I need you to buy this. And I need you to outbid Ryan Murphy.
The thing is, Sean, if this was a woman that was doing it, Shonda, but you've got a bisexual man. That's Ryan Murphy.
I'm so afraid of what Ryan Murphy's going to do to this boy. This
is a Ryan Murphy project.
My fear is he sexualizes people and makes them look guilty who should not be sexualized and should not look guilty.
But did you see what's happening with the Lyles? They're getting stuff reopened.
Totally. But their families are very upset about how he did it. Like,
I know.
He said, I'll help you, but first I'm going to degrade you first and make up lies and slander. And my fear is he's going to try and prove Luigi did it.
I don't think so. I don't think
know.
Ryan would. I don't think so.
You think that's the class? You think even this gets Ryan Murphy?
I think so because Ryan Murphy would be so attracted to him.
I think Ryan Murphy would be attracted to him whether he did it or not.
Yes, and for that reason,
you think he'll be glowing?
Yes,
I hope so. I would put like a lot of money on the fact that Ryan Murphy already has this.
Yes. He doesn't care who else might have already started. It's mine. He doesn't care.
I think he has not slept in like a week, and I think he's written all. I think he's already
done. He is,
and he has a first look already.
The thing is, him and Shonda are both at Netflix. If they wanted to, they could do a combo, but he's already at Netflix.
But
Shonda doesn't want this.
What I would kill for is if they did a combo, but they each got one episode, and it would just
they go back and forth.
Yeah, like, and you'd go, whoa, what is happening? It would be like so out of. It'd be crazy. I do hope Shonda, because I don't have the rights to it. I hope Shonda nabbed the rights to the my favorite one of the jewelers, the people who stole all the money and all the expensive stuff from the bank here over on Easter. And I'm still convinced it was a woman because we've never caught them. I hope Shonda got that one. And Shonda, I am available. I can be in it. I'm very long and lanky. I'm good at. I can get into. I'm not claustrophobic, really.
You do bleed easily.
Well, it would be lit very dramatically, and I would wear protection. So, also, doesn't everybody bleed easily? Or do you mean I bleed excessively when I bleed?
You bump into something and you are bruised.
You mean internally?
A lot of people don't just bump into things and have a bruise.
I thought you meant I'm cut open and bleeding all the time. Well, unfortunately, that is also true. I have I cut my finger there, and I also have this one here.
Thank you for proving my point.
This one was from Trader Joe's Mirepoix, the plastic thing, the lid. That sliced me so hard that hurt bad. This was when I was trying to use a screwdriver in the dark, and I slipped, and then I screwdrived my hand.
I was going to say maybe you should eat more carrots, but actually no.
No.
Those have been recalled.
You want to give me listeria on top of all of this? You want them to burn me at the stake like a witch? Okay. I hope you all enjoyed. If you are religious, you might want to get an extra little church session before our next episode of Don't Blame Me.
No, I think you should experience it. So then when you go to church, you know what you're praying for.
And who you're praying for. So we hope you all enjoyed this episode. As always, you can send us DMs on Instagram and TikTok and tag us in things you want us to talk about. If you have ideas for hot takes or nominations for worst of the week, go to our Instagram to vote on who you think was wrong in each segment of this episode. And please reply with why you voted the way you did, your thoughts and feelings, personal experience you might have, any of that. And we read all of that on our See You Next Tuesday episode. And stay tuned. Oh, God. Gird your loins. Right? Is the Don't Blame Me that we just recorded this Thursday?
They've got to wait 4 days. That's what I said up top.
Honestly, at the same time, it also doesn't feel like enough time to prepare. There's nothing you can do to prepare yourself for it except join the Patreon to watch the video version, because the roller coaster of emotions that we were led on by this caller, the plot twist, maybe it was Ryan Murphy, plot twist left, right, and center. Never knew which turn it was going to take. And yeah, this one is definitely a headphones episode. And that's it. Buy our merch, join the Patreon. We'll have everything linked in the show notes. And then we will circle back.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. Two guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're two dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart-Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's incredible Only One story. We talk to real people dealing with issues like infertility, the death of a loved one, human trafficking, and women who, fake it. Oh, and we want to be fair, so we talk to celebrities too. Emmy winners like actor John Cryer, supermodels like Amber Valletta, and rock stars like Ryan Dusick. Everyone is invited to share their Only One story with our listeners. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee you that Only One in the Room has a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone. Download Only One in the Room on Apple or Spotify today.